In present day, the cab driver recognizes old local celebrity Saul Goodman. He approaches the now Gene, offering him a ride whenever he may need it. With his cover blown, Gene calls to be extracted and relocated, changing his mind last minute, wishing to deal with the situation himself. Back in 2004, Jimmy plans to use his new client base from selling the burner phones to advertise his services as a lawyer once more. Meanwhile, Gus gives an explanation to Lalo and Bolsa for Werner's escape. With the work for now done and Werner dead, Mike sends his team home, the project to be completed when Lalo is dealt with. After said events, Mike no longer wants to work for Gus, with Kim hesitant over Jimmy's new clientele and dodgy tactics.
It's all good, man.
Gus threatens Nacho and his father, wanting him to sabotage Lalo's operation from the inside. Lalo meanwhile doesn't believe his rival's cover story for Werner, telling Hector of the construction underway. At a drug drop site, Crazy 8 is arrested, leading to Nacho meeting with Jimmy for the first time in 2 years, requiring his services once more. Jimmy is informed by Nacho and Lalo he must deliver a message from them to Crazy 8. Mike drinks his sorrows away, feeling the guilt for killing Werner, leaving his wife a widow. Jimmy delivers the message, having to act out the charade in front of Special Agents Hank Schrader and Steven Gomez. Jimmy tells Lalo the plan has worked, the DEA are focused on a competing cartel, and Crazy 8 is now an informant for them, able to give Salamanca info on their next moves. Nacho then informs Gus of the day's events.
Every single one of them played by the rules.
Howard invites Jimmy to dinner, offering him a job at the once more ever-growing Hamlin McGill. He says he will give it some thought, being called upon by Kim, however, to help on a Mesa Verde case. A man by the name of Mr. Acker is refusing to leave his home, which is based on land owned by Mesa Verde. That night, Jimmy lobs 3 bowling balls at Howard's car, bitter for his role in Chuck's death and forever looking down on him. Walking home, Mike is attacked by those that tried to do so previously. He puts up a fight, but drunk, ends up stabbed, blacking out. Mike wakes up finding himself within a compound in Mexico. Feeling guilty, Kim has Jimmy represent Mr. Acker. He prevents the demolition of Acker's house, with Kim suggesting she withdraw herself from the case due to the conflict of interest, but she is turned down. Jimmy continues to delay the demolition with absurd claims and scams, but tells Kim he can't do so for much longer, meaning if they want results, they have to go after Kevin and make it personal. Agreeing, they look into Kevin, looking for dirt or something they can use. Rich is suspicious of Kim, however, accusing her of working with Jimmy. Gus was the one that saved Mike, wanting him to work for him once more, or he goes down this rocky path he's on and dies bleeding out on a sidewalk somewhere.
You're gonna figure out a way to get them off my property. That call center's not moving one goddamn inch!
With Rich suspicious, Kim expresses doubts over Jimmy's plan to move ahead. She wants to offer Mr. Acker as much as Mesa Verde will allow, and she'll provide the remaining amount to equal 75 grand. Discovering Mike works for Gus, Nacho tells him about his father. Mike says to wait until Lalo is dealt with and then they'll talk. Jimmy continues to troll Howard as Mike works to help the police along their way to linking Lalo to a murder. Jimmy meets with Kim and Mesa Verde requesting $4 million, much to Kim's surprise, going against her plan. He follows this request up by showing rough commercials threatening to ruin Mesa Verde's reputation and file an injunction against their logo, which they do not own. Kevin eventually agrees to allow Acker to keep his house plus $45k, paying the photographer $200k for future use of the logo. Kim is angry at Jimmy for playing her, stating that they either end this relationship now or they get married, meaning if Jimmy gets into trouble, she cannot be asked to testify against him.
I don't know any joke dog or tugboat.
Yep.
They get married. From now on, Kim insists Jimmy tell her everything he's doing. With Lalo charged for murder, Jimmy is called to represent him. Lalo orders Nacho to burn a Los Pollos restaurant to the ground. Mike helps Jimmy get Lalo out on bail, whilst Nacho and Gus break into one of his restaurants, blowing it up. Despite feeling guilty for it, Jimmy uses Mike's info to get Lalo out, with the bail set at $7 million. Lalo tells Jimmy he must go and collect the money himself, meeting the cousins out in the desert. Leaving the courtroom, Jimmy bumps into Howard, who confronts him about his trolling. Jimmy goes off on Howard, claiming him to have no idea what he's capable of. He's a god, far superior to anything Howard and his firm could fathom.
Lightning bolts shoot from my fingertips!
Jimmy agrees to collect the $7 million bail for $100K, whilst Kim freaks out over the news he's involved in the cartel. On his way back with the money, Jimmy is tailed and soon surrounded. The men take the money and go to kill Jimmy before one by one being sniped by Mike. The following day, with Jimmy still not back, Kim visits Lalo demanding to know where he is. Initially annoyed that Jimmy has shared his business, Lalo refuses to tell her anything. Finally finding signal, Jimmy calls Kim, assuring her he's okay. Being picked up by Gus's men, Mike tells Jimmy he must come up with a cover story as to why his trip took 36 hours. He delivers the bail money, much to the disbelief of the prosecutors. Jimmy claims car trouble as Lalo gets out. After being warned to never see Lalo again, Kim finds Jimmy's travel mug pierced by a gunshot. Mike recalls the events of the day to Gus, with him concluding the men trying to kill Jimmy were hired by Juan Bolsa. With him suffering from PTSD, Kim tries to comfort Jimmy. She goes to work, quitting, handing Mesa Verde to Rich's firm, retrieving the tequila bottle stopper from her office. Intending to go back to Mexico, Lalo finds Jimmy's car riddled with bullet holes, heading back. Mike calls Jimmy, telling him to leave him on but hidden so he can hear, with Lalo knocking at the door moments later. Salamanca demands to hear his story again, with Mike taking aim just in case things turn sour. Kim saves the day, suggesting it's simply some random kids that shot at the car they found in a ditch, nothing more, berating his seemingly disorganized cartel. With Lalo leaving, heading back to Mexico with Nacho, Jimmy admits everything to Kim. At the compound, Nacho gets a call ordering him to open the back gate at 3 that night. Kim bumps into Howard at the courthouse, where she finds out about the job offer and Jimmy's trolling. He suggests she stop following him down this dark path, which she deems insulting, claiming she doesn't need to be saved. That night, spitballing, Kim suggests how her and Jimmy could get them to settle the Sandpiper case by hurting Howard. Jimmy tells her that they would have to destroy Howard's career for their plan to work. Surprised Kim would actually be okay with this. At 3, Nacho opens the gate, fleeing the compound as Gus's assassins go after Lalo. They fail in their mission, however. With Lalo realizing Nacho's betrayal, he orders the one survivor to report back that they were successful as he storms off into the night.